Hi, come on in. Hello. Here comes everyone. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Hi. Hi. Hey, everyone, as you're coming in, please put in the chat where you are calling in from. Please let us know where you are calling in from. Look at all these amazing actors showing up. Hi, actors. Love you guys. Let us know where you're calling in from. Let us know where you're calling in from. Hi. Oh my gosh. Let me look at all the people that are here. 80. I don't know you. I don't believe. Allison, Cassandra, Charlotte. Hi, Charlotte. No Charlotte. No Corinne. Jasmine. Hi. Good to see you guys. There's our favorite, Catherine Hollis Peters, one of my clients. Love her. Lisa Lyons. Love her. Mark McIntosh. Good to see you. Peter, oh my God, look at Shay. Look at all these amazing people coming in here. Please put in the chat where you are calling from. We want to know where you're calling from. Please put in the chat where you are calling in from. Good to see you guys. Pile on in here. Good to see everyone. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Come on in. Good to see everyone. And please put in the chat where you're calling in from. I'm calling from USA, Oakland, California, London. Yay, UK. We have a lot of clients in London. We just love our UK clients. Great. London, lots of London. Awesome. London. Oh my God, look at all these beautiful UK, beautiful people. San Diego, Austria. Perfect. We have a great client, new client from Austria. How awesome is that? Beautiful, you guys. Yeah, as you come on in, let us know where you're calling in from. And we are going to start in just a couple of minutes. You are at the How Do I Get an Agent class led by me. So we're going to jump right in about 2 minutes while we get enough people coming in and getting in. And please let us know where you're calling in from. And yeah, okay. Beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I've had this one for a while, this little blouse. Thank you so much. I always have to remember to look into the camera. But while we're waiting for everyone to jump in, I did a industrial on Saturday from the comfort of my own home. I had to, of course, take all that stuff down because it had to look like, a regular office. And she was like, and it was like a bad boss, it was an industrial for a company on like what a boss should not say. I only worked a half an hour and it was $600. Pretty good, right? She was like, oh my God, your camera's so good. And I was like, yeah, because I have a whole studio here. So she was like, your camera's so good. But like, she didn't want me like exactly looking here. She wanted me like looking there, right? Like where we would normally be looking in Zoom. But I'm like a lot of times doing this because when I'm doing like a regular Zoom, I'm seeing everyone on it. But I have 2 big TVs here, so I can see all the people on when we do our regular sessions. And yeah, anyway, but today it's just me. I can only see me, so I'll look into the camera so I can see you guys. All right, great. Oh, good. All right. If you are just getting here, please let us know when you're calling in from. Hi, Brigitte. Hi. Hi, Brigitte. Good to see you. Good morning from Los Angeles, London, more London. Awesome. All right. All right. Let me grab a drink. For you guys that don't know it, we've had a lot of smoke here in the New York area from Canada. I went to see a production of The Rose Tattoo by Tennessee Williams last night at the Shakespeare Festival at the Shakespeare Theater in New Jersey. One of my very good friends, Antoinette LaVecchia, was playing Serafina. It was her dream role. And she said the night before, the actors were just like could barely breathe because we've been hit with so much smoke from Canada. We just got hit. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw the pictures on social media. how much smoke we got. So it's really affecting my throat. So if I have to drink some water, you guys know what's going on. Okay. All right. I'm going to jump right in, and the people that come in will have to catch up, and we'll catch them up. Okay. So most of you guys, first of all, let me just say that I am going to answer questions a couple of times during the day. Please don't put your questions in chat because the chat moves too fast. Please put them in the Q&A section if you have a question. And put it in, and don't worry, I will get to your questions. Just put it in, so if when you think of it, put it in so you can remember and you don't forget your question, or write it down, because I don't know about you, but I always have questions and then I forget them. So make sure you put your questions in. And a lot of you guys are able to raise your hand. So I want to ask you to raise your virtual hand if you are currently frustrated with your current agent or getting an agent. Raise your hand if you are frustrated with your current agent or getting an agent. Okay, perfect. And you can either keep your hands up or you can raise them. If that was not true, you can raise them. Who has ever had an agent and got an agent, and you were all excited about getting an agent and they didn't work out? Who's ever had that situation happening? Okay, raise your hand if that's true. Who's had an agent, you were excited about getting an agent and they did not work out? Okay, great. One more question. Who is here as your last resort? You've been freaking looking for an agent for like ever, and you can't find an agent. You're frustrated. You need an agent. Who's here as a last resort and you want to get an agent? Great. Good. Good news. You are in the right place. Okay. Thank you for everyone for being honest and putting your hands up. You can put your hands down now. So we are going to talk about, we are going to solve the issue of the frustration it is to get an agent. We are going to help you figure out we'll talk about how to communicate a little bit, not as much about how to work out with an agent or how to fire an agent. We do have a course about that, but we'll talk about that a little bit today. And we are definitely we're going to solve your issue if this is your last resort, because I think that a lot of what I have prepared for you is really going to help you get a good agent, get you prepared to get a good agent, to be in a good relationship with an agent. And when I say agent, I also mean manager. Okay. Someone that's going to represent you. All right. And so I've got a lot of material prepared for you today about those things. And we are going to talk about all of those things today. So you're in the right place. So if you don't have something to take notes with, you should probably grab that, because you're probably going to want to do that. We will send out the recording. And even to you guys that were here live, we will send out the recording. Okay. All right. So first of all, just let me answer for you guys that maybe joined me because you heard about me through Actor Pro Expo in the UK, or you found me on TikTok, and maybe you don't know who I am and why you should listen to me. So I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis of who I am and and why you should listen to me. So I am Valerie Hubbard. I've been a working actress for 37 years. I have lived in New York and Los Angeles. I have worked in every medium. My credits include Castle, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., How I Met Your Mother, Resident Evil Extinction, True Blood, American Horror Story, Glee, pretty much every Disney show, Dead Rising 3, Wolfenstein 2 are some of my video games. I'm also currently working on a video game. I've done a ton of commercials and voiceovers, and I've done really exceptional high-end theater as well. And so I have worked literally across the entire industry. Consistently. I have made a living as an actor And I have, and I've been working with other actors because I really early on in my acting career, I went to one of the best acting schools in the country, and they told me the way to get an acting career was to get an agent. So I got an agent. I came to New York, and I soon learned that that wasn't the answer to how you get an acting career. And so I studied business, and I learned business. I learned that what business was separate from acting, but what business literally was. And I started to apply it to my acting career, and my acting career took off. And then my friends started asking me to help them. And so I started helping my friends with their acting careers. And then pretty soon I figured out that I could charge people to help them. And I started doing that in the 90s. My clients have ranged from actors that are in Oscar nominated films to series regulars to guest stars, co-stars, regional theater, Broadway stars. And I work with actors currently in my current company, Actors Fast Track, from all over the world. Myself, I've had 24 agents and managers in the last 37 years, partly because I lived through AIDS. And unfortunately, a lot of agents passed away during that time. So some of my agents died. Some of my agents went out of business. But literally, I would say I can tell you about 5 to 7 of those agents have been stellar agents. So we're going to talk about, first of all, what is an agent and what an agent should be good at. That's how we're going to start today, because I think it's really important for you to understand when you say, I want an agent, you know, you need to understand, why do you want an agent and what do you want out of an agent relationship, and how to be in that agent relationship before you go off and look for an agent. And don't worry, we're going to talk about looking for an agent, but we need to start at the beginning with, what is an agent? Okay, so enough about me. Let's jump in. What is an agent? And don't forget, if you have questions, please put them in the Q&A section. Okay, an agent is a commission-based job. An agent is a commission-based job, which means that most agents and managers get somewhere between 10 to 20% when they get you an audition, you book the role, and they negotiate the contract. Okay, so when they get you an audition, when you book the role, and when they negotiate the contract, their payment for that is 10% off the top, or 15% off the top, or 20% off the top, whatever you've agreed to in a contract with that agent. Now, let's be really clear. That doesn't mean that if you get paid scale plus 10, that they don't get their 10 plus an additional 10. No. And a lot of agents will tell you that. I have actually had arguments with actors who said, oh, no, that's what it's supposed to be. That's actually against the law. If you have a 10% agreement with your agent and you book a commercial, and the payment is scale plus 10, that plus 10 is the 10 that goes to the agent, not an additional 10. It's only the plus 10, right? Whatever you agreed to with the agent is what gets paid, not an additional amount, right? So an agent is about making money. So we're going to talk a little bit about pitching to an agent. A pitch to an agent has to do with what you have that's of value to them, because they are in it to make money. Now, customers, your customers, which are producers, directors, writers, and casting directors, are in it, yes, to make money, but mostly to tell a story. So your pitch to them is a little different. You understand? It's about how you fit into this story. Okay, but we're talking about agents. Agents are commission-based job. They only make money if you make money. Okay, So be really clear about that. That's the first thing. So what do you need an agent to be good at? Or what are you looking for when you're looking for an agent, right? So when you interview an agent, so did you hear what I just said? When you interview an agent, not when they interview you, no. When you interview an agent, these are the things that you should be focused on. Are they a good communicator? So when you're in an agent interview, one of the first things that I would ask is, how should I communicate with you? There's an agent in London that tells her clients, don't talk to me. I don't ever want to talk to you. I would not sign with that agent. If someone is working for you and selling you, you need to be able to communicate with them. So you need to find out what their communication style is. With my agent, and so, by the way, I want to say my current agent right now, my theatrical agent, I've been with for 17 years. And my commercial agents, I've been with since 1995. However, that's almost 30 years. So I've been with my current agents for a very long time. Okay. And I have great relationships with them. You have to understand how you communicate with them. You know, oh, I prefer emails. I like to text. Can you call me if you really need something? I text and email my theatrical agent because I know he always gets back to me. Okay, so that's one thing that you need to make sure they're a good communicator. Here's the second thing that you need to make sure of, that they are a good negotiator. There's a lot of agents out there that just take scale. So when an audition comes out, I have 2 auditions that I have to put on tape this weekend. Both of them say scale on them. Now, if I get an audition for, like for instance, if I get an audition for an independent film and it says scale, I will always ask my agent, are they negotiable? And because he's a good negotiator. So he's always going to try to negotiate me above scale. Above scale. And if you guys don't know what scale is the baseline amount you can get paid by the unions, right? And so it's the base amount you can make for doing a certain kind of project. And so when you work a lot, you begin to get what they call a quote. So it's what your agent will try to get you to above scale, right? And you want to make sure these agents are good negotiators. You know, it's funny, a lot of these agents don't know jack shit about negotiating, to be honest. And so you really want to have, if you want to have a long, great, fruitful relationship with an agent, you want to find out about how they communicate and are they a good negotiator? Hey, do you negotiate above scale? Would be a good question to ask when you are interviewing them. So first question you ask them is, how do you communicate with your clients? How would you, if I was to sign with you, how would you communicate with me? 2, do you negotiate above scale for your clients? Do you frequently negotiate? Do you not believe in that? How are your negotiating skills, right? Are they a risk taker? I think is another great thing to just be aware of, right? It's not mandatory, but like, are they someone that will, you know, like I went to see a play with one of my clients last night, and oh no, I had a meeting with another client yesterday, and she's with a really big manager, right? And she wrote a concept character for a really big TV show for herself. And her manager thinks it's great, and he's pitching the idea to the TV show for her. So that tells me that now I'm not surprised that he's a big manager, because he's a risk taker. Your big agents and your big managers and the ones that are going to really do something for you are ones that aren't going to poo-poo every idea you have. Now, I don't want you to go at them with like crappy idea. She went to him with a fully realized character for this TV show and said, this character is missing from this TV show, and I think I would be really good as that. Can you pitch me to that show? And he was like, yes. Right? So that tells me that he's a risk taker. Okay. That's the third thing, risk taker, communicator, negotiator, risk taker, right? And so you might want to, in your agent interview, you might want to pose that as, you know, if your client comes up with someone that they would like to pitch and they tell you why, are you willing to do that? And I mean, pitch on the phone. Are you willing to do that? That's a good question for a potential agent for you guys to ask. Okay. Fourth, pay attention to their business practices. Pay attention to their business practices, right? Now, some of that stuff you will find out, unfortunately, after you already sign with them. But if you're walking into an office, for an agent interview, then pay attention on how the office is run, how that agent speaks to the people that work for them. Is their desk organized? Do they, you know, if they're giving you a 2 to 3 hour appointment, I would be a little leery about that, because they should be busy working, right? They're probably going to cut to the chase, tell you what they need, see if you're interested, and pay attention to their business practices. Like a very nice agent that we like to work with in LA, you know, I always know when she calls in one of my clients, she's going to sign them, because she doesn't mess around. She's one of those people that knows what she wants, knows what she needs. And, you know, I had a young client that just signed with her. She called her in day of. Can you talk to me today? And she called me, my client called me, I was in the dentist chair. So as soon as I got the dentist's hands out of my mouth, I was like, look, if she's calling you to meet you with today, she's going to sign you. She wants you right now. And so that's good. And she works for her clients. She's communicated through the current strike that's going on in America with her clients on a weekly basis to let them know what's happening. So, you know, you want to see what their practices are. So the final one, good business practices, you want to, that's really about you paying attention to them during the meeting, how they handle the meeting, how long the meeting goes on, how they scheduled the meeting, how they respond to you. Those are all good business practices. And you can also ask, what's the percentage you take, right? When I get paid from a project, how long does it take you to pay me? Those are good questions to establish good business practices. Okay. All right. So now we've covered what is an agent and what do you need from an agent to have them be a good agent. Now, a lot of you guys probably know the other questions or the other things that people have told you in other classes you've been to about what to ask an agent, which might be like, who do you have relationships with? But literally, as an actor, if we're going to talk about that now, because it's more about who do you have relationships with, right? But that's not a bad question to ask them either. It's like, who are your really sturdy, strong relationships with as an agent? Okay. So now we're going to get into how do you get an agent? So how do you get an agent? Okay. The first thing that I want to say about this is that starting today through the end of July, we at Actors Fast Track with our clients that we work with, this is the time of year, June and July, that we focus on getting an agent. And yes, there's a strike going on, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to look for an agent. It's not going to stop us, right? And the reason that we keep it so short of a time and we're not doing it the rest of the year, and I'm not doing a million classes a year on how to get an agent. I'm doing classes about a lot of other things, but not how to get an agent, is because I just want you to be really clear that in your acting business, an agent is a very, very, very small part of that business. There's so much more to your business. So what do I mean by that? Your social media, your auditions, your relationships with your customers, casting directors, producers, and writers, right? Your own content that you're developing, right? Your acting technique, your style, your brand, your publicity, your marketing, right? There is so much more to your business. An agent is 10% of that business. And, you know, so I want you to be clear that you should not be spending an entire year looking for an agent. That's silly. So think of it like this. If you had a restaurant, so if I talk to 1,000 actors and I ask you guys, what are you doing about your acting career? Most of you are going to tell me, well, I'm taking an acting class, I'm getting new headshots, and I'm looking for an agent because mine sucks. So all of those things are awesome, but they are what you just told me is this. I'm opening a restaurant. I'm going to take a cooking class. I'm going to get a new logo, and I'm looking for someone to manage my restaurant. You did not mention one time about how you're going to get customers to come into your restaurant and pay for your food. And what do you think the most important thing in your business is? Customers coming into your business and paying you to act. If you want to be a professional actor, that's the most important thing. Does an agent have something to do with that? Yes. But can you do that without an agent? Absolutely. So that's why I don't want you focusing on more than a 2-month span on getting an agent in your career. Now, that also means while you're focusing on getting an agent for the next 2 months, I don't want you to also not be sending out your pitches and your emails and your marketings to the producers, directors, and casting directors and writers that you're trying to connect with. If you're in America and you're near a major city, I would recommend that you go join the picket line with the writers and get to know them before our own picket line starts. So we are going to commit a short amount of time to looking for an agent. That's first. Second, you need to make a list of who you're going to go after. Okay, so you need to make a list of the agents that you're going to go after, agents and or managers. You can make a list for any of them, right? So the way to make a list is go to IMDb Pro and look at the TV shows and the movies that you are a match for. If you don't know what you're a match for, you probably are going to need to do a little branding work. Which isn't difficult. Don't get overwhelmed about that. We will talk about that in a little bit here. But you're going to need to know what are the people that you're looking for, right? And you're going to go to those shows on IMDb Pro. You're going to go to those shows. So, for instance, I would probably go to a Disney show, right? And then I would open up the cast, all the people that have appeared on that Disney show. And then I would look for people with the star meter of 50,000 or lower. So 50,000 down to, 20,000, 10,000. And I would open up those actors and I would write down their agents and managers. If I did that for a couple of shows or a couple of movies, so, I'm not going to write down CAA, UTA, WME, right? I might write down like Gersh or UTA, or for you guys, identity, you know, or one of those agents. But like, I'm going to stay away from like the 3 powerhouses mostly, because they're not really in the business of taking someone that's developmental or someone that is, you know, not already going to be a star or already a star. So I would be making a list of agents and managers, doing it that way. The other way is you could talk to your friends and ask your friends that have agents, hey, do you like your agent? Great. Do you, what do you like about them? And remember, oh, well, if they say they're great at communicating with me, they get me a lot of great auditions, and they always negotiate above me scale, write that name down, because that's all those things we talked about, right? So those are good. So with your friends and IMDb, you should probably be able to come up with a list of, you know, 20 to 50 agents and managers that you're going to go after. Okay. Now, then you're going to make a plan. All right. So what is that plan? You are going to, first of all, build a pitch for an agent. So you can do a video pitch. You can do a written pitch, but you're going to pitch to an agent and you're going to tell the agent why you want to work with them, what you have, you know, going on, like who do you know in the industry? How many auditions have you gotten on your own? What bookings have you gotten on your own? Where did you go to acting school? Who did you study with? What are you selling? What characters can you book really easily? What is the stuff that you tend to book really easily? Right? These are things that equal money. Okay? So who do you know? Like, who have you been building relationships with? What auditions have you had? What bookings have you had? What callbacks have you had? Like, where you went to school, who you studied with, and what is your brand? What are the roles that you tend to book the most? Right? Because if I'm an agent and I'm signing a client and they are in line with what they tend to book, like what I see she can do, and she believes that's what she can do, then that's a good thing. Because if she can do what I think she can do, then we're a match. And I need that person in my stock of clients, of actors, because that girl tends to book, you know, these kind of shows and these kind of movies. And I don't have that girl in that age range right now. So you need to be clear about what it is that you book. And even if you haven't booked anything, what you can book. Okay, what you are able to book. Okay. So you're going to need some sort of pitch. And then you're going to need actually the plan. So the plan would be something like this. It would be like, I'm going to pitch, right? And then I'm going to do a follow-up. And then I'm going to do another follow-up. And then I'm going to do a last follow-up. And if they don't answer, moving on. But I'm not going to just do one pitch and not do anything after that. I'm definitely going to follow up, and you need to decide when and how that is going to be. Okay. All right. And then, of course, you need to execute that plan. Okay. You need to execute that plan. And that's where we often run into problems, is in execution of plan, right? We make great, how many of you guys have made great plans and then you don't carry out the plan? Oh yeah, look at those hands going up. You make these great plans and then you don't carry out the plan. I know, I understand. All right, so I have some questions coming up, and I definitely want to answer these questions, and I'm going to stay here today for at least another hour to get all of your questions in And I'm also want to talk to you about what happens when you do get the meeting, because I want you to be prepared for when you do get the meeting, okay? But I want to talk to you about two things, because these are the two things where, you know, when you said you are you're frustrated with how to get an agent, a lot of you raised your hands that you're frustrated, you don't know how to get an agent, that you have had agents and they haven't worked out, and that and you're here today because it's kind of a last resort. And the two things that I really talked today about that I think are problematic for you guys, and it's only because I work with a ton of actors and they've been problems for me as well, is that you don't know what or how to build a pitch, because you don't know what to talk about yourself. You don't know how to confidently talk about yourself, especially if you're going to do a 2-camera pitch, right? Like, hey, I'm Valerie Hubbard. I'm a boy and ballsy broad who will take you through the funhouse. I'm a cross between Kathy Bates and Drew Barrymore. And, you know, I play that woman that lives across the street from you. When you see me coming, you turn off your lights and pretend like you're not home. My credits include Castle, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., How I Met Your Mother, Resident Evil Extinction, True Blood, American Horror Story, and pretty much every Disney show. I'm looking for a new agent. You're the person I picked. I would love to set up a meeting. I will give you a call next week to do so. You guys cannot do that because you haven't practiced that and you don't know how to confidently talk about yourself as a product. And maybe whatever's stopping is I don't have credits, Valerie. I haven't had auditions. That's all fine, but you don't understand how to build a pitch. And the other problem that I know exists is that you don't have the ability to get in front of these agents and actually give this pitch, or the ability to hold yourself accountable to executing your plan. Does that ring any bells for some of you? And it affects me emotionally, because these little things are what stop you from achieving your dream. So for years, I've been helping my clients get great agents, have firm relationships with their agents, and have, you know, really amazing agents. So I started to be able to help people that weren't my clients. So I want to take a quick moment here to offer you a course I put together. Don't leave, because we are going to be doing more here. We're going to be telling you what to do when you do get an agent meeting, and we're going to be answering all your questions. But I want to let you know what we did put together something for you today. Okay, so it's developing your winning pitches with me. You're going to develop your winning pitches with me. Now, this is very exciting. So let me explain to you what it's going to be. Okay, you're going to get 8 sessions. These 8 sessions go in June, July, August, and September. Okay, so you're going to have 4 sessions coming up in June and July, where I'm going to work with you on these group sessions on your brand and building your pitch for an agent, right? Building your pitch for an agent. And then in August and September, I'm going to do 4 sessions where I help you build your pitch for your customers, casting directors, producers, and writers. These are going to be 4 group sessions. They are an hour and a half. We do have those dates if you need them, but don't even worry about that, because if you can't make a session, they will be recorded and sent to you. We're also, each one of you will get a private one-on-one with me to run your pitch, okay? And so I can, you know, work with it privately to get it really good for you, okay? So each one of you are going to get a private meeting with me to run your pitch, right? Then this is the really exciting part. you are going to actually get to pitch yourself. On Sunday, July 30th, you will pitch yourself to agents. You will get a 1-minute pitch. It will be to whatever room you choose to be in. We have an international room, an East Coast room, and a West Coast room. And we have also regional within America room that will probably be divided between the East and the West, depending on how many people are at the Pitch Fest this year. You will get to pitch yourself to those agents. You will receive the day after those agents' email addresses. And you will also receive the email addresses for the people that were in the rooms that you were not in. So you can put your pitch on video and send your pitch to those people. But you will be able to choose the room that you would like to be in, right? Then on October 6th through the 8th, you will be pitching yourself to casting directors, producers, and writers. Again, there will be people from the UK, Canada, international people. There will be New York, Los Angeles, directors, producers, and writers. We have had people signed from the agent one by Entertainment Lab. And if you don't know who Entertainment Lab is, they're one of the most powerful managers in the business. Bohemia Group, right? Identity. I mean, we've had people assigned by major agents coming out of the Pitch Fest. We've also had people book major things coming out of the Game Changer event. So you will get a chance to pitch at both of those events. So you'll be building your pitch for both of those events. We're also going to throw in our course called The Wealthy Actor, which is based on Think and Grow Rich for you today, okay? So you're going to get 8 group sessions from now until September. You're going to get a private one-on-one meeting with me, 2 pitching opportunities, and you're going to get the bonus of a Wealthy Actor course. That is a lot of shit, y'all. And the total value, if I was to sell you that right now, would be $3,500, but not today. It is not that at all, because I know what you need. You need it to be, you need accountability and you need affordability. So here's what it is. It's $497 today, or you could do 3 payments of $197. 3 payments of $197. Sarah is going to put the link in the chat. And I'm just going to give her a moment to do that. And I'm going to get you guys a moment to take advantage of it, because I know you don't want to miss me answering your question or telling you what to do when you get an agent interview. Thank you, Sarah. Great. And we will go over this one more time for you guys at the end of the day, but I will keep this up for a second. I want to say one other thing. Sarah is going to put her link to her calendar in the chat. And I will introduce Sarah to you guys in a little bit. For you guys that don't know Sarah, Sarah has a great knowledge of agents, probably even better than me. And if you would like to talk to us about working with me on a one-on-one situation or working with Actors Fast Track in a group situation, hop on Sarah's calendar. And if you do that in the next few days and you decide to work with us on a bigger level, Sarah will probably throw in this course for you. So she would be happy to talk to you. So she's going to put her calendar in the chat for you guys that would like to talk to us. And let me just, Sarah, let me bring you on really quick, because I want you to talk a little bit about some of the agents that we're working on and that we have had in the past. And so you guys can all meet Sarah really quick, and then I'm going to get to your questions. Please put your questions in the Q&A for me. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, guys. I am Sarah Blindauer. I have been a working actress since I was a kid, and I did take a couple years off during the pandemic because I had a baby at the start of the pandemic. So that was crazy. But now I'm back, and I've been with Valerie full time for since 2017. But I was a client before that. So I know both sides of everything.
Yes. And so we get some great agents at we've already started booking the agents. And I just want you guys to know that we don't bring agents just because they need to get paid. They do get paid by us to be there, but we bring agents that are looking to sign people.
Yes, we did. That's one of the questions we ask them when we're reaching out to see if they're interested in doing the event. But just to name a couple agencies we've had in the past, we've had Avalon, both New York and LA offices for Avalon. We've had Lisa Lax, who is a regional agent in North Carolina, right? Lisa's in North Carolina,
Yes.
but she's in Atlanta as well.
Lily Bankston.
Yes, Lily Bankston in Texas and New Mexico. As Val mentioned, Entertainment Lab.
Bohemia Group.
Yes, Bohemian Group. We've had a wide range, and House of Representatives, Sovereign.
Fiona Ketty and Associates.
Yeah.
Really good. London agent.
The Ritter Group. Is it the Ritter Group up in Canada? So we've had a Canadian
Ritter Group.
So yeah, lots of good ones.
Yeah, lots of good ones. We're hitting up some new ones this year. So we're really, really, really excited for that. And a lot of our clients have gotten smart and started requesting certain ones. So I just had someone request someone yesterday, which I thought was a really good one. So I'm going to reach out to them. So yeah, we get really good agents, and we really, we just want you to know that we're really thinking about you. And if we've ever had an agent in the past that we didn't feel good about, they don't get asked back.
Yes. And Val and I go through the list too. Like we had someone last year, we had someone the year before that we didn't get good feedback from. Even though they called people in, it wasn't like the right vibe. So we're not bringing them back. And we also bring in managers too. So it's not just agents, because not everyone's looking for an agent. So we'd like to have a mix of representation for you guys.
Yeah. Oh, and I would like to say, which I didn't say, about the offer I just made. If you are currently a client, if you are currently a paying client, there is a separate price for you. So I don't know if anyone asked you that yet, Sarah.
No one has yet.
Okay,
no, but
so yeah.
Checking with you.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for being here, Sarah. And Sarah's involved in producing you guys, and with a lot of really, really, really big people in the industry. And that's why I say she has a great knowledge of major agencies, what they're looking for, because she has conversations with them frequently. And so she's just a fantastic person to talk to about that. Yes, Melanie said you're the best. Thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate you being here. So I'm going to answer some questions, and then let me just assign you, change role to attendee. Bye. See you soon. Okay, thanks for being here. Okay, great. I'm going to answer some questions, and then I'm going to also talk about what I want you to do when you do get an appointment. And then if I need to, I will just quickly go through what I covered today just one more time. But don't forget, you are going to get the recording. So please listen to it again to, as you make your plan to get an agent, that you listen to it, because there was a lot of stuff I said and I talk fast. I know that. Okay. I thought after you reached out to an agent, they don't respond back. It's a no. Oh, Brianna, thank you for answering that question. That is a great question. So Brianna asked, I thought if you reached out to an agent and they didn't respond back, it was a no. That is absolutely not the case. And the reason that is because you should always follow up. Because a lot of times, I don't know about you, but I get 100 plus emails a day, right? And sometimes someone asks me something and even if they're a client, sometimes I forget to answer them. Like I have these crazy notes right here on my notepad, right? And sometimes like, if I don't make a note and I have Post-its, I don't get back to it. So in this world that we're living in, a follow-up is always necessary if you don't hear back from someone you're trying to get an answer from. So what I would do, Brianna, is the first time is I would send them an email, and then if they don't answer, I would send them a follow-up email and send them the exact same email that you did with your pitch video in it and maybe some other things in it and your links to your Spotlight or Actors Access or IMDb Pro or whatever you're putting in your signature line of your email, right? And then say, not sure you saw this. That would be the second follow-up. And then the third follow-up is like, hey, I sent you this a couple of weeks ago. I've been getting some meeting with agents. I'd really just like to know if you are interested, yes or no. And then the fourth one might be, hey, I never heard from you, so I'm assuming you're not interested, but I did want to give you one last chance to respond. I would do at least 3 follow-ups. Okay. Heidi, where and how do I find agents to pitch to? I've only been looking on Google. Not sure where else to look, and also because I can't afford IMDb Pro yet. Well, you can get a list of agents in a lot of places. There's something in America called the call sheet. It's put out by Backstage. You can get that from Backstage, or you could, go to a bookstore and see if they had it, or you could see if you could get the call sheet. It's a magazine as well, delivered to you. That's the best way to do it. Yeah, I would not be looking for an agent if you cannot afford IMDb Pro. I'm just going to be really frank about that. Because the first place they're going to look you up is IMDb Pro. And if you're not even on IMDb Pro, then I would not be looking for an agent. Levi, how do I get an American manager being from the UK? Thank you, Levi. So Levi, actually, a lot of the managers, Bohemia Group, which we most likely will have someone from there. If you look up Bohemia Group, they're from California, but they have managers all over the world. They have a manager in the UK. They have a manager in, they have managers everywhere. So I would first look to see at some of the managing companies, kind of go through them and find out if they do represent people international, or if you do know other actors in the UK that have management in, I know someone on here does, and I know a few that do. I don't feel like it's really my place to point them out. But if you have friends that have managers in it, ask them the name of the manager. Or if you know British actors that do have representation, then I would ask. I would also go to some of your top agencies in the UK and look at some of their top clients and open them up and see if they have a manager on IMDb Pro. Open up those agencies on IMDb Pro and open up their top clients and see if they do have an agent or a manager in America, because a lot of them do. A lot of them do. A lot of my clients in the UK, that I have a lot of very big clients in the UK that are booking a lot of big things, and they definitely have managers in America. Okay, hopefully that helps. Brianna, hi again. I also get scared to be stern and set boundaries because I'm scared people won't want to work with me, or I think I'm too much to handle. Brianna, thank you so much for asking that question. We all get scared, and we all deal with our confidence, and we all deal with boundaries, no matter who you are. But part of being a business person and part of being a grown-up is learning how to set those things and learning how to change those mindsets in your brain. Gratefully, we have a lot of skill sets to do that. We do that a lot with our clients because it's really, really, really important. That's like half the battle for me. A lot of times what I'm doing with an actor when I'm talking to them is dealing with just what you're talking about, right? So some of the ways that I talk to them that I would talk to you right now, Brianna, is number one, make sure you're starting your day with some confidence building activities. Here's some suggestions. Meditation, journaling, reading a self-help book. I recommend many. One of them that I think is really good and a good read is The Mountain Is You. That's a great one, right? So reading a book, journaling, writing a gratitude list, and practicing asking in your everyday life for what you want and setting boundaries with people that maybe are not as scary as an agent is. Because the more you do it in your everyday life, then you will begin to do it in your entire life. Okay? So, and getting some accountability, that's the other thing that the package that I just offered really supports you guys, is helping you with accountability. Because a lot of us are out there trying to do this on our own. And guess what? Our own worst enemy is ourselves. And the bad neighborhood is our mind. You got to stay out of that brain. It's a bad neighborhood, right? Because we tell ourselves, how many of you have set out to do something like go do a drop off or do a pitch to a director, or, you know, go and get an agent or call an agent on the phone, or any of those things that seem super scary when I say them, and you stop yourself because of your fear, right? Well, if you have a group around you that's saying, go, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, guess what? You do it. We had a girl that pitched herself. We've had a girl that pitched herself to like major shows. We have people that pitch themselves every day, right? And I had a young lady that's a newer client in London who pitched herself to several of the #1 voiceover agents, right? She did it on the phone because she wanted them to hear her voice. Really brave, because she had me behind her cheering her on to tell her it's okay. She's not going to get ruined, but I know it's hard, right? So I want to give you the support to get that done. Benjamin, how long does that offer last? Well, the first class, Benjamin, is next week. The first pitch class is next week. It is the 16th at the same time this is, a week from today. So you have that offer until next week, right now, and you'll get all of those things included. It's like one of the best offers. I just want to tell you, Benjamin, it's one of the best offers I've ever made. You get a shit ton for that. So great. And I just also want to say, for you guys that are in already in our Accelerate program, if you purchase a little package of 3 private sessions, you will get this package thrown in right now. We made that offer to all of you in an email, but if you want to talk to Sarah about that, you have a week to get on that. So let Sarah know and she will hook you up with that. It's a great deal. How long should you leave before following up and following up again? Thank you, Danny. Great question. I would say I would send the first email and then I would wait probably 4 to 5 business days, and then I would send it again. So if you send it on a Saturday, you guys wait till like the following Thursday, right? And then I would wait probably another 4 to 5 business days and another 4 to 5 business days. That'd be a good rule of thumb. Nav, hi Nav. What if an agent said, not looking, our books are closed at the moment, or not looking for new talent? Do you think we should follow up with those agents? No, if they give you an answer that they're not looking and their books are closed right now, then you should leave them alone. But no does not mean no forever. Because they might not be looking right now and their books are closed right now because there's a strike. They might not be looking right now because they have someone exactly like you. So the strike's going to end, and that person that they have that looks like you is going to get a series regular, or going to move to a different agent, right? And then your place opens up in that thing. So, if they say no, they have someone like you, I would try to figure out who that person is by using IMDb Pro. So then you can kind of keep an eye out. If they leave them, then you can be like, oh, they're gone. I'm going to go back at that agent again if you didn't find one. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Sarah, I currently have an agent and I want to move on due to several red flags over the past years. So I'm not concerned about transitioning out of the contract since they violated it. I'd love your advice on if I should leave and have no agent for a little while, or seek a new agent while I'm still represented. If so, how do I professionally address that as I'm seeking a new rep? Thanks so much. Great question. I'm also very much wanting to find a manager. I was thinking of doing that and then working with the agent to find, them working to find a new agent. That's actually a really good idea, Sarah. I might go look for the manager first. That's what I did. I had an agent that was, well, actually the agent ended up disappearing, but before he disappeared, and I knew something was up, but I didn't know he ended up being a drug addict, but I didn't know that. And so I kind of sensed that, though, trust your gut, right? So I went and found a manager. And so I would say maybe think about finding a manager is what I would do. And I say if an agent has violated their contract and they're not a good agent, I would say there's no reason to hold on to them. Having a bad agent is not going to help you find a good agent. They don't care. They do care if you're signed with someone and you're looking for another agent. That only makes you look bad. But if you have a bad agent and they're not doing anything and they violated the contract, get them out of your life and then go look for a good agent, because they're not doing anything for you anyway. So why would you want to keep a bad thing if they're not doing anything just to say that you have an agent? That's not good enough reason. So don't keep them if they're bad and they violated your contract. Get rid of them and then go find an agent. But if you don't want to do that, I would say go look for a manager. That's a really good idea. Hope that helps. Okay. I think my question got cut off. Oh, never mind. It's there. Okay, great. Okay, great. Brianna. Hi, Brianna. Is it best to get a manager first before you get an agent? Great question. Chicken or egg, which came first? Who knows? It doesn't matter. You're looking for an agent or a manager that's a good communicator, that's a good negotiator. Now, depending on where you are, Brianna, frequently managers aren't really supposed to negotiate for you, but they do often. So you can kind of keep the negotiation thing out of there, but they're a good communicator, they're a risk taker, and they have good business practices. You're looking for those things and whichever one you find, and trust your gut. When you're meeting with these people, there's a lot to do with trusting your gut, you guys. And also when they give you a contract, we're going to talk about that in a minute, about what to do during the meeting and, and what to look out for. So we'll talk about contracts in a minute. Okay. But it doesn't matter, Brianna, is the long, complicated answer to that question. Okay, great. Thank you. Benjamin, how long does the offer for the pitch last fast? It lasts until next Friday. Della, hi. Can I do this without a lot of credits? Yes, Della. The reason you can do it without a lot of credits is, first of all, you're a client. And so you're you are smarter than the average bear, which is good. And you are really, really marketable. So people are possibly looking for you. They are probably looking for you right now. Okay, hope that helps. What should you say in the pitch that will stand out? Well, we're talking about the agent pitch. And if you do the pitch class, the pitch package I just offered, then we'll get to the pitch to your customers, right? But the pitch to your agents is it needs to be whatever is the standout thing about you. Like if you have a ton of credits, I would probably lead off with that. Now, when I did the pitch for you, I didn't do that. But if I was really looking for a new agent, I would probably say, hey, new agent, you probably know me. My credits include blah, 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 blah. And then, I tend to play that woman that lives across the street from you when you turn off your lights and pretend like you're not home. I'm really looking to play a lot more of that deep, dark sort of, white trash kind of woman with in indie films. I'm looking for those kind of characters, interesting characters in indie films. And that's why I'm choosing you as an agent. So I would probably be very specific while I was pitching an agent. If I was looking for a new agent, it would be, if I was looking for a new agent, I would be looking for an agent to get me on the Oscar path, which would mean to get me in a certain type of indie films that were winning awards. So I would be looking and saying that. I would be very specific about why I was getting an agent, a new agent. I hope that helps. Okay. What to put in a pitch to a commercial acting agent? Commercial acting agent, same things. Like what commercial casting directors do you have relationships with? What are the kind of what's the kind of characters that you tend to play? What are the commercials that you book the most? Right. Now, if you're building a pitch that you're going to put on a video and you're going to send to them as a GIF in an email that you send them, which because we are going to have some good commercial agents as well at our Pitch Fest. If you're doing that, then you might want to edit in a couple of clips from you in commercials or a couple of your commercial headshots in there. So, and I have these shots, and then just like the shots come up, right? So you could edit that in a fancy video that you were sending to them in an email, in the body of the email. And we will be covering those things in the pitch class, by the way. Okay. Eliza, I'm freshly out of drama school. Congratulations, Eliza. And I haven't booked any jobs yet. Yeah. Okay. Should I approach any agents in a different way if I haven't gotten on my resume? So the thing that's going to make you interesting is you just got out of acting school. You have that drive of someone that just got out of acting school and that hope and a good attitude, probably, right? And so that's great. And say, I just got out of acting school, so I not really built a resume, but these are the kinds of roles that I played in acting school. This is what I'm really good at. This is what I think I can book right now. I have the headshots. I'm ready to go. I would love to set up a meeting with you. And that would be the premise of which I would come from, right? A lot of times people want someone right out of acting school because they see potential and they see money. It might be a little longer game till you start making money, but some people are willing to play that game. Okay. This might be a silly question. What's better, a manager or an agent? That is not a silly question, first of all, Benjamin. Thank you for asking that. I don't know. Whichever one works better for you. Whichever one works better for you. There's a lot of managers out there that really act like agents. The line between the two of them is very gray these days. It's really hard to find a really good manager and a really good agent, so anyone can go out and call themselves an agent or a manager. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be good at it. So it's really about finding someone that is a good communicator, a good negotiator, a good risk taker, and good at business practices, and someone that you trust from your gut. Okay. Should I contact another agent only after the last follow-up email or before that? Oh, no, you should contact all the agents right now that you want to contact at the same time and follow up with all of them at the same time. If 5 agents want you at the same time, that's a great problem to have. And then you can sit down with someone like me and decide who are you going to choose, right? And why you're going to choose them. I mean, I had a client that booked a series lead. I'm going to say that again. I had a client that booked a series lead without an agent. When she booked the series lead, she had a choice of 3 of the biggest agents in America. We took a look at all 3 of them. We weighed each one and she made a choice. Okay. So yeah, that's a good problem to have. Hi, Valerie. I have an agent here in the UK, but I am also seeking a manager in the USA to represent me. What advice could you give me, please? Well, I think I already gave this advice, but I would say, Christopher, that pay attention. And Christopher, you're a client, so you and I can talk about this. We can talk about the people that have managers that we know in the UK, and I would go with those people. So why don't we save that for our private coaching? That's no problem. Or you and I can do it on Facebook Messenger. Is the way managers get paid different to an agent? Yeah, a lot of times it's more. But I would never, ever go above 20% for anyone. And generally, if you're a union actor and you're a working actor, I would not go above 15% for a manager. Hope that helps. Helen, how long should you pitch video last? A minute, max a minute. You can say everything you need to make in a minute. How about if we do a video pitch for a manager in the US? Well, there you go. That's a great idea. Okay, yes, we will do that, Christopher. And Christopher, when you do the pitch fest, we'll put you in the room with the LA people, because we'll have some of the, but we'll probably have some of those in the international room as well. But we'll fit, when we get all the rooms sorted out, we'll figure it out. Okay, I want to talk about what you say when you get a meeting with an agent. Okay, so number one, you want to find out those things that we talked about earlier in the class, right? Like, how do you communicate with your clients, right? How do you negotiate? Do you negotiate above scale for your clients? If I came to you with a solid idea for a pitch for a show, would you be willing to send that for me and help me get it to that director or that producer? And then pay attention as you're in the meeting, what and how they communicate with you before the meeting and after the meeting. What are their business practices? And then if they offer you a contract in the meeting, please do not sign it in the meeting. Please get an attorney to look at it and make sure that you are not signing anything that's cuckoo for crazy puffs. A lot of the current agents are really beginning to respond to what's happening, because there's so many ways for us to make money than ever before. I have clients that are making bank on TikTok. I have clients that are making bank on Instagram. I have clients that are selling scripts. I have clients that are producing movies. I have clients that have produced and done their own show and sold it to a network, right? And literally, you have to be good, better than ever before at negotiating, right? So I have a friend who's a producer that sold a show to Amazon during COVID. And he went to his agent. He said, I'm going to pitch the show to Amazon. Do you want a piece of it? She said, no, you shouldn't pitch the show. It's a bad idea. And I don't want to have anything to do with it. And it's going to ruin your career. He's like, great. Will you please sign this piece of paper saying that you don't want any commissions? She signed the piece of paper. The show is now worth $6 million. He spent $10,000 initially. If she had signed the piece of paper, she would have made $150,000 in commissions so far. He was smart to get that paper signed. He got a different agent. He booked a movie with Helen Bonham Carter. He negotiated the deal with Helen Bonham Carter to do the movie. He then went to his agent and asked the agent to negotiate the transportation and the per diem. He said, I'll give you 5% for that. She said, okay. She negotiated the travel arrangements and the per diem, and he gave her 5%. Right? So you have to be a good negotiator more than ever before as an actor. Also, the other thing I want to say to you is when you sign with an agent, please watch your money. Please watch your money. Know how much you're getting paid. Know how much they're legally supposed to take out. When you get the check in the mail or you get it digitally put into your bank account, please double, triple, quadruple check what was taken out and who did what. I have past clients that have been ripped out hundreds of thousands of dollars by agents. So please watch your money. Okay. All right, great. I have a couple more questions. One last time before everyone leaves, and I am going to stay for 15 more minutes and answer your question. I just want to go over what the offer is one more time. And Sarah, will you please put the links in the thing again? Here's the deal, you guys. You need help getting an agent. Most of you aren't going to do it on your own. And it's not that you're not going to do it on your own, or I don't believe that you have the ability to do it on your own. It's just that I know you guys because I've been working with you and I've been an actor as well for nearly 40 years. And I understand that we all have well-meaning objectives in our lives to get things done, and most of us don't get it done. And the reason we don't get it done is because no one is there to tell us exactly step by step what to do and hold us accountable. And also, we are actually going to give you an opportunity twice, not one time, but twice, to get literally in front of them on a Zoom call and pitch yourself for a whole minute. You're not going to get that anywhere. And even if you buy one of those pitching opportunities at one of the casting workshop places, you're going to do a scene that they give you, right? This is an opportunity for you to actually talk to them about what you have to offer, who you are, which no one else is offering you that. So this is a really good opportunity for you. So here's what you get. You're going to work with me 8 times in a group environment. We are going to develop these pitches. You're all going to get plenty of time to work on them privately with me in this group. Then you're actually going to get a private time with me to run your pitch and or your pitches, right? We're going to give you 2 pitching opportunities. Actually pitch yourself in a 1-minute pitch. And we're also going to give you a bonus Wealthy Actor course, which is a phenomenal 4-hour course on how to think of money differently, how to think of money as a business person, how to manifest the money that you want. This is a phenomenal course. You will cry. It is a beautiful course that's also geared for your mindset around money as a business person and your confidence level. If I sold you all of this, it would be $3,500. Today, it's $497. You have until the 16th, or it's 3 payments of $197. Please join us. This is such a great deal. It's the best deal I've ever made. And I really want to have you guys in with us and be doing this. So thank you so much for joining us. Those of you who have joined us today, we really appreciate it. Sarah's going to give you that thing, and I'm going to answer some more questions. There you go. That is the offer. And again, if you are a client, a current client, there is a discounted rate for you. Please private message Sarah. She will get that to you. And last but not least, if you would like to talk to us about becoming a private client and having a private conversation with me about what managers that you should go after. And then you should get on Sarah's calendar and talk to her about that. Okay? All right, let's answer some more questions. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Great. You're welcome. Is it true that having an agent listed on CN or AA, does that give you better breakdowns? I fired my terrible agent, Casting Networks or Actors Access is what she means. I fired my terrible agent. What do I do about this while I'm trying to get a new agent? While you're trying to get a new agent, Kathleen, what you should be doing is you should be selling yourself as an actor on a regular basis. I pitch myself all the time. I have an agent for 17 years. I pitched myself for a show last week. I did a pitch video. I sent it off to the casting director. I then did contact my agent and told my agent I pitched to the show. When the show is back up and running, I want to make sure that you get me in for the show. So I'm going to be communicating with my agent about that, but I pitched myself on the show. So if I didn't have an agent, I would pitch myself on the show, and then I would pitch myself to the producers, and then I would pitch myself to the writers, and that's what I would do. And I would also have an email tracker on there to see if they're opening my emails, and I would be pitching. Do you get a better audition if an agent is listed? Yeah, both on Casting Networks and Actors Access, there are private auditions that go to only agents, and there are public auditions that go to all of us. That's how they're separated on Casting Networks and Actors Access, between private and public. If they're private, they only go to agents. You're not going to see those if you're on Casting Networks and Actors Access without an agent. Do they get different breakdowns? Not that I know of. Not that I know of. I think that's a rumor. I think that that's not true. Are there agents that have really good relationships with casting directors that casting directors call them directly rather than putting it on Actors Access? Absolutely. Absolutely. And often you are selected because of who your agent is in the private form of auditions, because that agent has a relationship with that casting director. Right? Or often you're selected because you have a relationship with the casting director, even more important. Okay, so I hope that helps. Okay, great. Do we have any other questions? You guys, please put in your questions. We would love. Oh, hi, Teresa Cole. Nice to see you. I saw that you got together with Anna the other day. I saw the pictures. Look at all these amazing people that are still on here. Oh, there's Anna. Hi, Anna. Good to see you. And Abby. Hi, Abby. Look at all these James. There's James. I had a good conversation with James this last week. Great. Awesome. Hi, Roy. Shay. Love ya. All these amazing people. Yvonne. Okay, great. I have more questions. Awesome. Hello. Great. Hello. Yes, we've had a great day. Oh, that's so good. I'm so happy. Teresa, that's so good. These are my good clients and past clients in the UK. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I wish I came more than often. My husband and I have been talking a little bit about moving to the UK. Okay. Great. So let me just go over quickly. Oh, I have one more question. Valerie, we love you. Thank you. To pitch myself for roles, do I find the CD or producer on IMDb? Okay. To there's a lot of ways to find your producers. What we build for our clients is a list. And that list is what they do to find an email address. Once they get through that list, if they've done all of those things and they still don't have the email address, then they move on to the next name on their list. So for instance, I'll just give you an example. So that list might be, we have a private database for our clients. So they check the private database. They ask the private Facebook group. They look on IMDb Pro. They Google it. They try their name, first and last name at Gmail until they find the correct Gmail one that might be their Gmail address. They look if they have a production company. They look on LinkedIn. They look on production list. So those are things that they might go through to decide what they're going to do to find an email address. So an example was that we had someone that was going after Viola Davis. Right? So she couldn't find Viola Davis's email, but we went on IMDb Pro and we looked at Viola Davis has a production company called Juvie Productions. And we looked at everyone in her production company and several of them had their emails listed on IMDb Pro. So you don't always have to go for the head of the snake. You can go for someone else down the line. What workshops or classes do you recommend for finding my character type? Well, we do a whole branding process here at Actors Fast Track. I recommend us for that. I think that we do that better than anyone. We do a whole branding thing. If you just want to buy our brand for the branding for the actor course, we can probably work out selling that to you. You know, get on Sarah's calendar, Brianna, and talk to her. Right? Just have a conversation with her because we have like some very inexpensive programs that can get you really clear about your brand because you want to be really clear about that. Okay. I have a good show reel, but it's in another language. Okay. Let me tell you a really good story, Mitzi, about that. I had a client that hired me that was from Russia. He had really great scenes from Russian TV. And someone told him, well, you can't use that in America. And I said, yes, you can. So we did his show reel. It was in Russian. We did subtitles. He got signed by a big agent and he booked a $70,000 reoccurring guest star on House of Cards. So you put subtitles is what you do. Most of the credits came from IMDb Pro. Great. Should I send this one out or make a new one in English? No. Yes, you should send that one out with subtitles. And when you get an English speaking scene, then you want to put that on there as well. Okay, Mitzi? Great question. Thank you for asking that. She said, come here to the UK. We're really thinking about it, Teresa. Are there agents that specifically handle older actors? Some, yes. But most agents like to have older actors. Some of my older actors, like the woman that I was talking about that has the big manager that's pitching it, she's an older actor. She also has a show that she's written that she's pitching, and she's a huge manager. So, you know, most agents want a plethora of different types because that's how they make money. Now, some are more focused on, you know, like maybe someone like Identity and like has a lot of people of color, right? Like both of my big clients that are with Identity are, one's a Black woman and one's an Asian woman, right? So, you know, they tend to choose those kind of people. But like most agencies are looking, I mean, I think you just have to look at their list. But yeah, most of them want, and I'm sure there's some that do have older people. I've never been with one of those, but yeah, I'm sure there are. Oh, don't worry about typing. Taurine, come to the UK. Oh my God, all my UK clients want me to come there. Everyone must work with me. Thank you. I met Anna too. I know, Taurine. I heard you met Anna. That's so lovely. I love you guys I love all my clients that get together in different countries and you know, when I'm not around, we try to throw a party and we threw a great party. You guys were there. We threw a party in the UK in February. We'll be throwing another one coming up next February. We'll be throwing a party in the UK for all of our people in the UK, and you don't have to be a client to come. So we would love to see you guys. We'll be throwing a Christmas party in New York and Los Angeles. And we just like to get, with our people, because we do have clients all over the world. So as much as possible, we like to get together with you guys and hug you big and get to know you personally beyond just the camera. So by the way, all of these classes that are being offered in the pitch class will be done in a regular Zoom. So I'll be able to see all of you, and the Pitch Fest will also be done in regular Zoom. So again, I'll be able to see all of you and talk to you, and you'll be up on my big TVs here. So I want to thank you one more, and then we're going to call it a day. Do you create reels? No, I do not, but I have great people that I recommend. I'm currently switching agents. I'm currently in the UK. I feel my language ability is a big one, but I don't want to wait forever to be cast. I'm also looking at modeling agents. Does this make sense for you, Roy? Yeah, it does make sense. What is your opinion on going to college for acting? I'm currently looking for somewhere to transfer for my BA, but I'm unsure where to go. I'm looking into Chapman, but I want to focus on TV and film instead of theater. So Chapman is a great school, by the way, and a fantastic school. I think going to college is fine. I don't think it's necessary, especially if you already have a bachelor's. I think that you have a bachelor's, that's great. I think that, what you get in an acting school in college is you get voice and movement, which without you go out and take those classes independently of scene study and whatever else you've done separate classes like acting for camera or auditioning for camera or scene study. Voice and movement are very important to being a very well-seasoned, thorough actor. And I think those are important. And those are the things that I am glad that I went and got a BFA in acting and I had those things, if that makes sense. But I think it's one half a dozen the other. I mean, in this day and age, I might not spend the money on that. I would probably try to piece it together because it's so expensive, and who wants to have that debt? Who really wants to have that debt? And you're not going to get an education like, can you attend the Pitch Fest without taking a course? Yes, you can. Sarah, I know this is a little late notice, but can you give him a price for can you give him a link to the Summer Pitch Fest page so we can buy a ticket? Cliff, we would love to have you there. I know you were there last year. We would love to have you there. So yes, you can. And you know what we will do, you guys? We will send out the ticket for the Pitch Fest if you just want to do that. Absolutely, you can. Buy a ticket for the Pitch Fest. Love you all so much. Thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate it. And please, stay in touch. Join our I Love Actors Facebook group if you're not a client. And we have a lot of things that are coming up. What is happening here? Okay, I just want to see if someone is trying to okay, no. I thought someone was trying to reach out to me. All right, you guys, love you guys to death. Thank you so much for being here. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the pitch class, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.